Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And as you can see by the title of this video, this is a girly chit chat get ready with me. If this is your first time here, my name is Sylvia. Welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that red button down below. And so for this video, I'm going to be creating this look here. My everyday look. You guys have been asking a lot about what eyeshadows I'm using, and since my foundation routine has also changed, you guys know that that's when I like to kind of give you a little update on my makeup routine, is when that's changed. And honestly, this is probably one of my favorite foundation and concealer combos that I've ever tried. So I figured it was definitely time to share that with you guys. In today's video, I'm literally in my pajamas. I'm actually wearing this like little silk romper pajama set, and this is just a robe from Victoria's Secret. I know you guys will ask me. And the little romper is actually from Homebody, which is totally me. I've definitely become one of those people that as soon as I come home, I put on pajamas, and because I am in pajamas a good portion of my life, I like to wear pajamas that are obviously comfy but are also still really cute. Also, my background is finally back to my kind of just original setup. So this is basically where I get ready every day with this lit mirror. And the reason why we normally cover it is because Adam has always said that reflections in the mirror are crazy and like that would be silly. And so a couple of times we would like take down the mirror every time we shot a video. And the other day I was like, why not just like leave it? Like screw it if there's reflections. So do let me know if the reflections do bother you, let me know and we will figure something out. But it doesn't bother me, so you guys let me know. But yeah, I'm already guessing that this video is going to be pretty long. It's just going to be girl talk, chit chat as I get ready and show you my updated makeup routine. So grab some tea or some coffee or a snack. I'm actually enjoying my blueberry mint. If you guys try this, it's infused with hemp CBD, so it helps with anxiety. It makes you like really relaxed, but no, it does not get you high. I've seen a lot of talk about that and people are like, does it like get you high? No, it totally doesn't. I think, in my opinion, it tastes better than kombucha and super yummy. So if you guys haven't tried this, I highly suggest it. Alright guys, so without further chatter, let's just get into the video. Alright guys, so this is my basically everyday look. My foundation routine has definitely changed, and so I wanted to share that with you guys because this is definitely a foundation that I would never think to try, but because there has been so much like buzz about this on YouTube, I decided to give it a try, and I was so surprised by how much I absolutely loved it. So also I've been getting a lot of questions on what eyeshadow I'm using and all of that. So you guys know that I'm definitely a more neutral, very kind of, I definitely want to say more natural, or I guess more natural than a normal kind of a YouTube makeup look. Alright, so the first step, my face is moisturized. One of the new things that I've been doing is using this e.l.f. Poreless face primer, and I actually got this in a PR package, and I've got a ton of e.l.f. stuff, and to be honest, I try and give it everything a go at least once, and I hate to say this, but oftentimes I'm not the biggest fan of e.l.f. products, and I don't know what got into me because I'm so picky about trying new products on my skin because I'm so afraid of it making me break out, because I am pretty sensitive skin, have pretty sensitive skin, and I tried this like one day, and in the evening I was like, why does my makeup still look like it's where I put it, and it, you know, there's like no creasing, and the makeup definitely went on a lot more like poreless and like flawless looking. So definitely a favorite. Good job, e.l.f. I have been using the Hourglass Primer for maybe about a year, and I did love that, but I just feel like this one's better. And honestly, and I think I've seen this at Target for like $12 or $10, so definitely almost like a tenth of the price. So just get a tiny amount, and I always concentrate it where I have larger, more visible pores, and that is this area here for me. and a little bit in this T-zone. And right away when you put it on, you can kind of already see just kind of how less visible the pores are. Another thing I wanted to touch on is I have all of this texturing through my forehead, and this happened about a week ago, and it's not acne, it's just really, it's like a ton of little raised bumps, and then the next day it'll be gone. So I really have no idea what it's coming from, and I haven't started using any new products on the days that this is happening. So yeah, this morning I woke up with it again. So really have no idea. The only thing I can think of is I changed fabric softeners, and the only thing I can think of is like that of my pillow, but it's not like I'm only sleeping with my forehead on my pillow, so it makes no sense to me. But the reason why I figured it was a good idea to film today anyway is because the first time that I tried the foundation I'm going to be talking about today, I had the same issue going on and my skin looked flawless for the rest of the day. So that's what I wanted to show you guys, that even with kind of rough texturing or kind of more like skin imperfections, this foundation is amazing. And that is the Too Faced Born This Way. I swear I feel like I've been hearing everyone talk about this. So I always just get just a few pumps on the back of my hand and then just use a beauty blender. That I feel is like the best way that I apply foundation. I feel like it goes on the most flawless, and I definitely don't ever use more than I need to. I'm really curious to try the new Bounce foundation by the Beauty Blender. I think the Beauty Blender is just such a revolutionary little tool, and which everyone has tried to obviously, you know, imitate. There are definitely other ones that I like as well, but I feel like nothing compares to the softness and the blendability of the Beauty Blender. So I also think the packaging for the new Bounce foundation is genius, because we always like put it on the back of our hands or on a lid of a product. So yeah, I think that's such a cute and pretty genius idea. So I feel like what I like about this Born This Way foundation is it feels really light. And even like now, I feel like this is definitely a good coverage, but it's somewhat sheer. And I hate to say that because I've definitely gotten into liking a more full coverage look. But this definitely has coverage enough. If there are areas that I do want to cover more, it is very buildable, which I also like. Not all foundations are buildable, and I do like that about this one. But what I've been doing is definitely applying a lighter layer of the foundation and then just kind of spot conceal with the concealer. And I also went ahead and got the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer, and this has like impressed me even more than the foundation, because anything that goes on the under eye that doesn't crease is like just such a big deal. I think one of the areas in my face where I show the most expression is definitely under my eyes. So I feel like I do crease a lot under the eyes. And this one, just, it doesn't crease. And I don't know how. I mean, I set it the exact same way I set all of my other concealers, and it doesn't budge. So the other amazing thing about this concealer is the blendability. I don't know what is in this formula, but it's like a few pats and it just like blends beautifully. The applicator too is pretty phenomenal. I love something this chunky. One of my problems with the NARS concealer, which was a good favorite of mine for quite a while, the applicator was so thin and it was so hard to get the product out. So everyone does their kind of under eye a little bit differently with the concealer. Some make like a V. I definitely like to come to the side of the nose. I feel like brightening that area is really beneficial, and not necessarily on everyone's face shape, but I think on mine. Then I like to do the center of the nose, and I just come up a little bit here, a little bit in the center of the chin, and just the Cupid's bow. And as you can see, it's just blended, and I can't get over how easy that is to blend. And when I saw how easy it was to blend, I was like, great, that's amazing. So it's probably not gonna set well and it's not gonna last all day. But I was so pleased to find out how absolutely nice it did set and stay all day. So my next trick, which I definitely learned from Nikki Tutorials, is to set that under eye and the face right away. I used to do this kind of way more towards the end of my makeup routine. I've just learned that setting that right away is key, and I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm going in with the Morphe kind of angled brush. And I like to start in the area where it's okay to put a little bit more product, and as the sponge has a little bit less product, that's when I set the under eye. That's another thing, that sometimes we want to set the under eye so well that it doesn't budge, but adding too much powder to the under eye will make it look so creased and so cakey, and sometimes it's not the foundation, it's really just how you set it. So then I just go ahead and set the rest of the face, because I'm still going to contour. And one of the new ways that I've been contouring, which I have shared with you guys, is with the Maybelline concealer sticks. And I actually started doing this kind of around the time that like Kim Kardashian came out with her contour sticks. And I know that these are concealers, but I just get them in like 2 to 3 shades darker than my skin. And I love the blendability of this. I like doing this more than using like a powdered contour or using kind of a bronzer as contour. So because I have such a long forehead, I do like to come down pretty low, but this is how I like to do the forehead. I just feel like really powdery foreheads, it doesn't look natural, because the forehead is definitely an area that does bounce more light. So definitely using something creamier, I feel like just gives the skin this much more kind of luminous look, which ends up looking so much more natural. And I contour a little bit on the side of the nose. For the nose, I definitely go in with something a little bit cooler for more of a contoured look, but I always like to add a little bit to the nose so it ties into the kind of rest of my contour, and so that everything just looks like it belongs on the same face. I wanted to talk a little bit about social media, and this is definitely not a new subject by any means. I know that a lot of people, just talk about how being on social media or Instagram is can be so unhealthy for your mental state, because we're constantly comparing ourselves and all of that. And honestly, I've always been against that mentality, because I always look at all of those things, like whether like anywhere in the media, as inspiration, and not like I need to look like that model or I need to look like that girl, but that's like, wow, look at how she put that outfit on or how she put that together. That's like inspiration. Like I have a shirt like that, or I have a jacket like that I can pair with those jeans or something like that. That's how I've always thought of like models and magazines and all that kind of stuff. So it's never been something that I thought like it shouldn't mess with your self-esteem. And I don't know, I feel like lately, and maybe I'm just like really late to the game or to this sad game, but I feel like social media doesn't give me the inspiration or the high, I guess, that it used to give me. Like I definitely, it was like I would go on social media to kill time if I was like, say, in a waiting room waiting for something, or you guys know that that I'm claustrophobic and I get pretty like anxious in elevators, and living in the city, I mean, like going to my doctor, going to get my lashes done, going to basically everything, you need to go in an elevator, because everything is in these like tall buildings. And that was like something I definitely had to get used to moving to the city. And I realized that like being on my phone, being on social media was such a good distraction, and it actually helped with my anxiety and stuff. So I've always thought like social media is how you use it. And if you feel it's unhealthy, just like get off it. Like that's what I've always thought. But something I noticed, and I actually noticed this not from being on Instagram, but from reading a magazine the other day. So obviously at the salon, we always have, you know, every magazine, and I'll like look at a cover sometimes flip through it. But now I'm going to bronze the face with this Tom Ford bronzer, and one of my clients actually works for Dior. She gets all these amazing samples, and so that's why it's in one of these kind of like packaging. But I absolutely love this bronzer, and I've considered buying it, but I just feel like it's so pricey. I don't know if I'll like it, so this is a great way to try it. It's definitely not like extremely pigmented, which, I mean, I feel like a couple years ago I would have hated that because I just wanted the more bronzy, the stark, the better. But I feel like now I do like bronzers to be a lot softer, because by adding it little by little, you end up getting this really like soft blended look as opposed to like this muddy look. And then that's what I go in and set the forehead with as well, just because I bronzed the forehead with that like contour stick. Now I don't want to really set that with like a lighter powder, so I kind of like that I can just kind of set it with this bronzer. And to contour the nose, I'm going to use CoverGirl's A True Blend contour palette. Going back to my social media little rant. So yeah, the other day I brought a magazine home that was at the salon, and I actually think it was an Elle magazine. And I don't know, Ariana Grande was on the cover, and because you guys know how much I love Pete Davidson, I was like, oh, maybe she's gonna talk about him. So like I brought the magazine home to kind of like read, you know, like the article that she was in. And I ended up like sitting outside with Olive, like out in the patio, and I ended up reading like the entire magazine, like the way I would when I was like, I don't know, like 16 in high school. I would read so many magazines, and I would like literally read every article and not just like flip through the pages. And I feel like that's where I learned so much about beauty. I feel like that's where I got so much inspiration. And what I realized is because it is so diverse. And I know that we've always like said such negative things about the media because all they show is like skinny, tall models, you know, with this like perfect skin and blah, blah, blah. It was a girl with like the intense curly hair in one ad. Even like the big name brands like Louis Vuitton or like Dolce & Gabbana, there'd be a girl with like a gap in her teeth. And it's like, I realized that it's stuff like that that I miss. Like, to me, that's beauty. To me, the juxtaposition of all different types of looks is what's beautiful. And I know that the media does sometimes almost try to add diversity to just be politically correct, but, and this could just be my opinion, but I do feel 100% that diversity is so beautiful. And I don't know, like I feel like just that contrast, I feel like even though they, in this magazine, everyone was probably photoshopped, you know, probably with the best makeup artist, and they had the best lighting, but even then, it was so much more diverse than it is on Instagram and like social media. And I think that's when it hit me how I think Instagram and social media just has not been healthy for me as well, and I hadn't realized that. And that's because I feel, and here I am too, doing the exact same thing, because everyone has mentioned this foundation. I've tried it and I've loved it, and here I am doing the same thing that other makeup artists are doing. And not that there's anything wrong with that. Obviously, if you find inspiration, you find something that works for you, that's amazing. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's the fact that I feel social media, because social media technically is everyday girls like you and I, they're not models, you know, they're like girls that, you know, have just turned on their camera and are sharing their makeup routines and stuff with you, that I feel like we are meant to think more like that they are normal and they're just like us. But in reality is, you know, like these like big makeup artists, big YouTubers that have, you know, millions of followers, they are almost like, you know, I mean, at least financially and everything, they are like big time models. And the thing is, they have all of the best, of course, lighting and the best makeup. They are makeup artists, so they know their face so well. But still, there's nothing wrong with that. I just think it's the diversity that I think that lacks on social media. And even though there's definitely, and I know that the problem could be just with social media, we have complete control of who we follow, right? Whereas when you're sitting down watching TV, you don't have control of the commercials that come on. When you're, you know, going through a magazine, you don't have control, obviously, of what you're going to be seeing in those pages. So I do think that a lot of it has to do with, obviously, you have control of who you follow. So you tend to start following people that, you know, have your skin tone or your skin texture or anything like that, because you feel like this is going to be beneficial to me. This is going to teach me something. This might help me. And someone that's so different, I guess, from you, most likely you probably won't benefit from their tips, if that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like I'm going on this like long tangent and you guys are probably like lost me at social media. So, but please do let me know down below, like, how you guys feel about this. Like, do you agree? Am I absolutely crazy? But I have had, oh, brows is gonna be hard to do without a close-up mirror. But I have had clients say the same thing. Like, sometimes they'll be like, oh my gosh, like, do you follow like this person on YouTube or whatever? And they'll be like, no, like, they just don't have my hair color, or they don't have, like, the stuff they talk about is not relevant to me. And so I have realized that it's definitely not just me, but that's the other thing, is it's also like books and stuff. Like, you end up reading what someone else has kind of compiled for you, rather than you having complete control of what's being fed to you, if that makes sense. Obviously, social media is not going anywhere, and frankly, I hope it doesn't. Obviously, it's a big part of my life. It's definitely a big part of my job, and I definitely think social media is wonderful. It absolutely is, and it's opened so many doors for so many people, and just amazing that we have this ability and this platform to market ourselves and all of that. So it's, of course, it's definitely, I feel like the positives definitely outweigh the negatives. I think the issue is more us getting sucked into just always, you know, picking things that, like, this is gonna help me and, like, this is just so me, rather than, I don't know, following kind of more, I guess, diverse pages. If you go on social media and social media makes you happy and you don't at all feel like you need to compare, then it's great. It was just so weird that looking at a magazine had, I guess, such an impact, or has made me realize so much about social media. I think the reason why it is so unhealthy for mental health is because before, when I look at this model, and it's like, well, she's a model, she's like 6 feet tall, or, you know, like, she has this amazing team. But now seeing girls on social media, you think, like, she started from nothing. There's no excuse why I can't be that successful, or there's no excuse why I can't learn to do makeup like she did, or there's no excuse why I can't have the amazing products that she has, and so on. And I think that's when it gets kind of dangerous, because we constantly compare ourselves, and I do think a little bit of comparison is healthy. I mean, that's how we evolve, that's how we grow, and that's fine. But I think constantly, just hours a day sometimes, like, I hear, especially like younger, more impressionable ages, that they do spend hours and hours on Instagram, and that just can't be healthy, you know, to compare yourselves to people that have been in this industry for a long time, that just have access to a ton of these, you know, beauty and kind of amazing products. Another thing too is age. And I obviously have always thought that I want to age gracefully and I want to embrace my age and never, you know, be sad or whatever about my age. I feel like my mom has so aged gracefully, and she's never want to be like, I wish I was 20, and you know, she just really takes care of herself, eats well, and is healthy, you know, but she's like totally against like Botox and all that stuff. She thinks I'm crazy for doing Botox on my forehead and stuff like that. Now going in with the Kat Von D Shade to Light palette. And am I the only person that wishes that the banana powder was sold alone? I mean, I feel like that's all everyone uses, and maybe the contour shade underneath. But why do I have to buy this entire palette? I don't know. Am I just being bitchy? But yeah, going back to the age thing, that's the other thing. Like, I feel like I've been on YouTube for a few years now. I definitely think that I am older than the average YouTuber. And that's another thing too, that because I am in, you know, this field as well, like not just the beauty industry, like doing hair, but on YouTube. And sometimes, you know, like when you see a makeup tutorial, like the other day I found this new YouTuber, and she's amazing. I'll actually leave her link down below. She's actually a model, not like a YouTuber, but she has like a couple of YouTube videos, and I totally fell in love with her. I thought she was just like charming and absolutely stunningly gorgeous. I actually found out she was like half Portuguese and half, I believe, German. Anyway, she's such a doll, and I remember I was like watching her like video and just thinking like, wow, she's like so like beautiful. And I knew she was a model and stuff, so it wasn't like surprising. Oh my gosh, like how is this, you know, girl just so amazingly, like she's just like perfection. It was like you could tell that like at 9 years old she was like flawless. Like never once did she go through a awkward stage or anything like that. Anyway, but I was like watching this like video, and she was like just applying makeup on in like her hotel room or something. And like her face was just, it was like her skin was like utter perfection, everything about her. And I remember thinking like, why doesn't my skin do that? And then I was like, I'm probably 10 years older than her. And yeah, I think she was like not even 20. And so that was like another time too that I was like, why can't I just like watch this and appreciate how pretty she is without, again, without comparison? And I have a friend that she's actually a client, but we absolutely like think so much alike that we've like gone out for coffee and stuff, and she's just wonderful. And anyway, she's definitely a little bit older than me, but she's such a gorgeous woman. But what I love about her is that she is, you know, really confident, and she's very, like she can admit she's pretty. And that's another thing too, that I feel like as women, I'm all for humble, and I definitely think that that's like one of the most important and one of the most attractive qualities, both in men and women. I think I've mentioned this in the past, but like any guy that, I don't care how hot he is, if he's like cocky, it like completely ruins it for me. Like someone who is like humble, like that to me is just so attractive and sexy. But anyway, this client of mine, she's just, you know, she's a gorgeous woman, but like she knows it, and she talks about it in a sense that like, I'm pretty, she's pretty, like why can't we all be pretty? And I think that's like such a healthy mentality, is that, and I feel like we constantly do compare. And if there is a girl around us that is pretty, it's like automatically like, ugh, like let me find a flaw in her, or screw her, like why is she so perfect? And the thing is, she's pretty and she might be pretty in a different way, but you're pretty in your own way. And that's definitely something that if I ever have a daughter, that I would absolutely love to enlist in her. And I think my mom definitely has done a good job about, I think my mom has always done a good job about making me feel confident, but definitely just enlist that there are a million different types of pretty. And that whole saying that, you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, like that, I so think so. There's definitely beauty that is undeniably beautiful, and I get that. But like I mentioned in one of my last like girl talk videos, how I wanted to start doing more kind of like not necessarily just chatty videos, but kind of talk about different subjects. And I want to do that as kind of like one of my extra videos for the week, not like, you know, replace like say a hair or beauty video with a talking video. Just doing like an extra video a week. I know a lot of you guys have been asking like, why don't I upload more? And to be honest, it's really the time factor, and I wish I could do a million more things. But I figured I want to use my platform for, of course, beauty will always be one of my biggest passions, and of course I will never stop talking about that. What am I doing? Pick an eye. But like I said, you know, in the past video, I definitely do want to use my platform not just for giving you, you know, amazing information on beauty, but also touching on like beauty from within, because like I said, I mean, that's, to me at least, that's like so attractive. Just inner confidence and just who you are as a person and all of that. And I do feel that you guys don't yet know me at all, and I do feel that I have been trying to open up a little bit more, but I think it is important. And me not growing up with sisters, I only have brothers, I think it is so important. I mean, obviously I'm really close with my mom and stuff, and so that's amazing. She's always been my great, you know, good close friend. But having, you know, someone to talk about that's like closer to your age, where you can talk about issues and stuff that is happening in your life right now, I think is important. So kind of want to, you know, build this kind of space here where you, whether you have sisters or not, where you can kind of come here and talk about stuff, like girly stuff, and not just hair and makeup, pressing issues or whatever it may be. But I feel like it's important to have that, and just to, I do feel like you guys are very good friends of mine, and like the sisters I never had. So I feel like it would be a good thing to kind of have an extra video a week to just talk about all things girly. So based on what I've talked about in this video and like kind of mental health, based off of like social media and our confidence and stuff, my next talking video will be on confidence, and not just talking about confidence, but basically my tips and what I've learned along the way on how to gain confidence, how to be confident. And I feel like we see a lot of that, like just be confident and, you know, you'll attract good things, you know, be confident and you'll attract the right partner. So I figured I wanted to, my next video, definitely I want it to be on that. And that's obviously like a big point, but just inner confidence, just being confident with yourself. And I do feel that obviously being in the beauty industry, one of my favorite parts about my job and this industry is that we do give so many people confidence. The reason why this industry is so big is because it doesn't matter whether you are a 16-year-old girl or an 85-year-old man. No one on earth can say that they don't feel better when they look better. And that is definitely something I learned really early on. And being in this industry, when I started doing hair, obviously I, you know, wasn't specialized as a blonde. I did men's haircuts. I had both male and female clients. Now I only do women and focus on color. But I definitely feel in the beginning, working with like an array of, people, I definitely did realize, like I remember, I think it was like my first week ever working in a salon, and I had an older gentleman, and he was, completely balding. He was probably late 70s, and he came in and he was just, like he seemed, like he was tired and older, and I, gave him the haircut that he asked for. And especially in the beginning when you're like new and, just started working, like making any of your clients happy is just such a like good feeling. And so yeah, like I gave him this haircut, and obviously, like I said, like he was balding, so he didn't even have much hair to work with. So it was like, in my opinion, like such an easy like haircut, but he just left that salon just like with this pep in his step, and he was like confident. He was like standing up straighter. He looked healthier. Feel better when they look better. And when you are more confident, I do believe that you do achieve more. I can't tell you the amount of clients that come to me from far away. Sometimes they fly from Florida. Like I said, I have clients that come from Dubai. And when they come from far away, oftentimes they'll be like, I'm starting this new job. I just need amazing hair. Just go in there, be confident, and rock it. And it's so true. I feel like when we are confident, we literally can accomplish, we can conquer the world, literally. I know that we've all had times in our lives where we have felt confident and we've definitely, accomplished more or achieved something that we probably didn't even think was possible. And it's definitely moments like that that I'm so proud to be a part of, your life, and to be able to give you that confidence. For highlighter, I'm using this new Glow palette. And I know that this video has been a lot of talking, and I know that I haven't been mentioning everything that I'm using, so I'll do my best to list everything that I've used down below. But yeah, also let me know what you guys would like to see in these extra like girly chat videos. Or if it's not just a chatty video, if you want to see vlogs. I have to be honest that when I did Vlogmas for the first time, just this last Christmas, I wanted something that was, like gonna push me to do vlogs, and I felt like Vlogmas, I obviously couldn't do one a day. Like, I feel like people that do that, like, oh my gosh, I bow down. Like, that's amazing. I was doing one extra video a week, and I did love that I pushed myself to do that, and most of you guys were enjoying it. It was either 1 or 2 messages that I got saying that my vlogs were so boring and that I seemed so dull and that my personality was like so annoying, and I was like, I feel maybe that someone said that, A, because they were very unhappy with themselves, and 2, because I am, like I've said, I am a very private person, and I know that I don't show you everything, and I'm sure that in contrast to other vlogs, that's probably what you guys like miss seeing. And so I figured, like, you know what, this was so much work to get out 1 extra video a week, and if it's like for someone to just judge me more, or I was like, what is the point, like this was so much work and stuff and whatever. The other day I was like thinking about it, and I was actually like on one of those videos, and I was thinking, you know what, like I have hundreds of like positive feedback, positive comments, and I literally had like 2 comments that were like negative, and I like stopped because of that. And I was like, I mean, obviously also because of time, but do let me know what you guys would like to see in that extra like bonus video a week. So ideally I would like to post that bonus video on Wednesday or Thursday, and then resume my normal like beauty related Saturday video. So a lot of people have also said like start a vlogging channel or start a separate channel, and honestly I I have definitely seen other people with, you know, like with the smaller channel. Oh my god, what is going on with my hair? I've definitely seen people with, I guess, less subscribers than I do, you know, starting a second channel. And I think that's awesome, but I just feel like whether it's a vlog, whether it's beauty related, like it's all me. And I feel like unless we ever started doing kind of like family vlogs, if Adam were to, you know, if ever one day Adam were to dedicate himself full-time to YouTube, let him know. Leave a blue heart down below if you guys would love that. But if I had more of Adam's help, you know, kind of like editing more videos and like shooting more videos, and if he were to retire from his day job and do more YouTube more on a daily basis, I feel like that's the only way I would start a separate channel, where it's kind of more like us. I know I've thrown a lot of stuff at you guys, but obviously I do it for you guys. So if I ever try or do something and you guys are like not fans of it, like I'm not gonna do it. And I'll get a lot of comments saying, but it's your channel, do whatever you want. And of course, if like there's something that I absolutely love to do, that is what I'm going to do. At the end of the day, I love doing YouTube, but I do it for you guys, and I would not have gotten the opportunities that I've gotten if it wasn't for you guys. And so obviously, like, I treat YouTube just like I treat my other jobs. And that is that I am here to satisfy the client, and with YouTube, you are the client. And if I came on here, talked about, I don't know, purple unicorns, and you guys didn't want to see that, like, it would be silly for me to come on here and do it all the time. But, of course, on YouTube, I do want to bring you what you guys want to see. So, I definitely take that as constructive criticism when you guys leave me ideas or suggestions. I absolutely love that. So, feel free to leave your feedback on if you do like the idea of, you know, the second bonus video of the week being more chatty, more get to know me, more girl talk. And if so, what topics do you guys want me to go into? So that is it. This has been a long video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this look. But yes, I absolutely love these types of videos. I really feel like I just sat down and talked to a best friend. So hope you guys liked this type of video as well. If you do like it, please give me a thumbs up. It helps me understand what types of videos you guys like. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so by clicking the red button down below. Thank you so much for all of you that have made it to the end of this video. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.